Morning.
Morning.
Just give it a minute, everybody.
Doug, I'm gonna have to jump off probably a little early because I have a couple makeup headshots today.
No problem. I've got a builder meeting by like Microsoft Meet or whatever at 10 o'clock anyway. So
Okay.
excuse me.
Sorry, I was watching a movie.
What were you watching?
Truman Show.
Nice.
I've never seen it before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I still got about 30 minutes left, but it was a gripping scene, so I couldn't cut it off.
Well, glad you got your priorities straight. That's fantastic. So today, I was just telling Cassie, because she's got to get out, that I've got a builder meeting by computer at 10 o'clock. So this is going to be kind of an abbreviated best practices optional. And all I really wanted to do with today, I thought maybe some scripting would be helpful because we haven't done it in a while and I didn't have any overarching topics to talk about. So did any of you guys have any things that you wanted to go over or role play a little bit on your own, or do you want to just jump into some scripting and acknowledge and ask? Anybody have anything you've been dealing with?
I'll share something that I don't know if other people are, something that I've been facing recently with leads that I don't know if other people are, is getting them to talk to our lenders as opposed to somebody else. I'm getting a lot of people right now that want to talk to their own lender. I just got one buyer converted this morning, but so many people like, well, my bank's already got all my records and I don't have to pull statements, or Rocket is just easy because you can upload everything and it's online. So we don't have to talk about that now, but that could be an idea just to discuss the value of why you want to use someone local, why you want to use someone that we have a relationship with, as opposed to any lender off the street. They can all do the same thing, but not to the same degree.
Well, I would definitely overcome the objection about uploading everything. Every one of our lenders you can do completely online as well. You never have to meet them. It's a similar process. You just follow their link and upload the docs securely, so you don't have to worry about any of your docs or anything like that. It's not like you ever have to email them anything. They have secure upload sites. So you can do that. I think it is important to stress, especially in a competitive market, the value of using an agent in North Carolina, because a lot of listing agents are going to coach their clients to want to use somebody who's using a local lender to North Carolina, because people don't like the national lenders. They don't like lenders who are not in the state. It really will put you at a disadvantage, I think. Above and beyond that, the value of being able to talk to somebody who can, who has multiple investors that they work with versus a brick and mortar bank who it's just theirs. You know, there are less options. They have less loan products typically. Like, you know, any one of our lenders basically is going to have more options and more investors than say Wells Fargo or BB&T.
So I'm glad you said that, Doug. So, but not all of our lenders are the same, correct?
No, they're not, because some of them do hold and service their loans. You know, most of them will sell them. Kyle is kind of the biggest difference because he's a broker.
That's what I was
So
getting at.
he makes the connection with the lender. He finds the investor and then it goes from there. So it's not the same as like Adam where they process everything with their people. So it is a little bit different from that regard. But the way I look at that is, and the way I explain it to my clients is, they've got more of an opportunity to shop for the best product for you versus Wells Fargo's got A, B, and C options, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
So make sure you're comparing apples to apples, or your
just
client.
my personal preference on that. Like, I hear what you're saying, and the only thing is you're also then working with people that you haven't worked with ever before, because the underwriting for this one's different than the underwriting for that one. And I'm not saying that to the client. I'm just saying between us, like, that's where, you know, I see the complication.
I think that's a fair thing. Yeah. And something that we definitely have to be aware of depending on which lender it is or which one of our partners we're working with. Yeah.
But I will say the other thing too, and I know we're not talking about this, but my biggest advantage is the relationship that we have with the individual lenders, where we can, you know, direct text them and say, hey, what's going on with this? And, you know, they'll contact us. You know, I know we don't like to do that, but sometimes they'll do it on their own, but they'll contact us at, you know, 9 o'clock at night saying, hey, this just got approved. Whereas, you know, the punch clock banks and big loan people, they're not doing that.
No. And you're definitely not, you know, not reaching them outside of banking hours.
Right.
I think those are all really important things to be able to articulate to folks, and so they understand the value of working with a partner that we've worked with over and over. And maybe as individual agents, you haven't had the opportunity to do that yet, but we have the collective experience for our team that can speak for these folks. And while everybody, you know, there are hiccups with every person that we've ever used, you know, that's still going to be to a lesser degree than working with a complete unknown commodity most of the time. That was a good topic to bring up, Brandon. Anybody have anything else?
So a loan officer would be more of the broker, and then the processor is like the underwriter. Is that right? Or am I getting those wrong?
So like, have you done anything with Adam yet?
Not Adam, no.
So the processor is basically the one that, you know, Adam hooks them and then the processor cleans and fries them.
Okay.
They do all the work. The loan officer wins a relationship and gets things started. They explain to them the 30,000-foot view. And then, you know, it's handed over to the processor and they handle the file, basically.
The loan processor is their April, Meredith. Think of it that
Okay.
way.
I was just thinking that. Yeah. Okay.
I just heard like a huge crash upstairs and Amanda is now yelling, "Get out." I think the dogs are causing some issues. Anyways, all right.
I know her pain.
Anything else? Yeah.
All right, guys, sorry, I gotta go.
Okay, bye.
Have a
Hope it
great
goes well.
day.
Anybody have anything else? How about just trying some acknowledge and ask? Who wants to try that? Just kind of role play it a little bit. It's just about keeping the conversation going, make sure it's a good exercise in active listening. No
Doug,
volunteer?
are we not talking about engaging visitors at an open house?
Do up? Yeah, we can do that. Absolutely. I added that to the thing, didn't I? I think that came from, who did that come from? I think it came from Lisa. Maybe I'm wrong. Ashley's jumping in. Hold on.
What at an open house, Nate?
Engaging visitors at an open house. Thanks for joining, Ashley. I hope you're doing great. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it came from Lisa. We were having our call last week and she said, thank you, Nate, for reminding me that that's on the calendar. Just like, what are your best practices? How do you handle people when they come into your open house? What do you say to them? What do you do with them when they're there? Kind of how have you handled it in the past? What have you had success with?
Well, there's a sign-in sheet usually, and you can pretty much tell off the bat if they're there with an agent or not. So if they're there, my whole thing is if I know that they're there with an agent, I introduce myself and, you know, say welcome and please, if you would sign in, and then just kind of back off and stand away. And then if they have any questions, obviously answer them. But if they're with an agent, obviously you don't want to get in the middle of that. If I know that they don't have an agent after they've signed in, I'll still kind of let them do their own thing and let them know that I'm there, because I don't want to be following them around the house into every room, being overbearing and annoying, because that can be standoffish, I think. But then after you can kind of sense that they're done touring, I'll approach them and say, are there any questions I can answer for you? What did you think of the property? And then just start the conversation that way. And then, of course, are you working with an agent? And try to LPM with them a little bit. And then, of course, make sure their contact information is legible on the paper, because I sometimes have not been able to follow up with people because I can't read an email or phone number for the next day. And then that's pain.
Really good point. Verify that stuff, definitely. And I like your approach to everything else as well. Anybody have any add-ons to that?
Just make sure you really, really know the house that you're hosting, because I've had agents ask me like there's the last one that I did at Tiffany's. I didn't know who the builder was. And the first agent asked me that. So I texted her really quick and she answered me. And then the next agent that came through asked me the same question and I was able to give the answer. So just really make sure you know almost, as much as you can about the property when you're there. Because even people without agents are going to ask a lot of questions. And then I always say, if it's not my property, I always, say, hey, I don't represent the seller. So if there's something that I am unable to answer, I'll find out from the agent.
That's excellent. That's a great way to preface the conversation. I will, hey, welcome to my open house. Thanks so much for stopping by. What motivated you to stop by today? Did you just see it driving by? Did you see it online and decide to come by? Blah, blah, blah. Let them talk about it. There could be some acknowledge and ask in there. Well, just so you know, I'm here to help any unrepresented buyers. I don't represent the sellers. So if you're not working with an agent and you're looking to make an offer on this house or any other house, I'd be happy to talk with you about the process and help you with that. So come in and take a look around and let me know what questions you have.
And I always take the WWREA brochures there just in case someone's really hot.
And like I told Lisa, I've always done this at open houses. I'll have my laptop open and I'll have the website on our site for the house open, and then I'll have Boomtown open another tab. And then if they're there and they're unrepresented and this isn't the house for them, I say, well, come over here. Let's talk about your search criteria real quick. Let's see what other options are on the market and maybe you haven't seen. We can go take a look at them. Boom, 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 get them in Boomtown. You can verify their contact information right there. Set up a quick search for them. That's a lot of immediate value that you can.
That worked really well for me. When I was at Nate's open house, I had a buyer, super hot, same deal, right there in the kitchen, got her all set up, followed up with her. Then, of course, she went FISBO on me, but, it was a great learning experience.
It's a great way.
Also a good idea to have a list of somewhat similar properties in the same vicinity. If someone comes by and says, oh, I really like this property a lot, or I really want to be in this area, but this floor plan's not for me or whatever. Okay, well, I'm done here at 4:00. check out these other properties. Which one do you want to see any of these? You know, I've done that before.
That's a good idea.
That's providing the value, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
I think if you have a unrepresented buyer and you have the time, like, hell, I mean, have a full-on
Consult.
consult, you know, and
I'm with you,
you know what I'm saying? If you can sign them up,
right?
and to, you know, like you said, Brandon, take them out if you have the time to take them out afterwards.
I think it's crucial just to continue the follow-up. You know, sometimes they're in a rush, they got a lot going on, and they're here, there, and everywhere, and just stopping in real quick, what have you, and that's understandable. You know, sometimes people are just dicking around, but you can at least give them your business card and say, you know, get their contact information and then follow up.
What you want to think about is, say there's another open house in the neighborhood, or the neighborhood next door. What do you think that agent is doing?
Same thing you are.
Well, they might not be.
Oh,
So, you know, what I want you to do is make sure that you're going the extra mile and attempting to provide some value other than, oh, do you want to buy this house? Oh, no. Okay, well, go have a great day. Thanks for
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of questions I get are about the neighborhood versus not just specifically that house. Like usually they're probably like driving through, like, oh yeah, we'd like to live in this neighborhood or one close by. And so then they'll ask like, you know, do these houses have basements? Like they'll ask about like the neighborhood in general and not necessarily that one house. So it's good to kind of like know a little bit so you can seem more knowledgeable than probably the other agent at the other open house.
Take 20 minutes and look at MLS before you're open. Look what sold there recently.
what did you say? I can't hear you, cut out.
I said take 30 or 20 minutes before you're open and look in the MLS and see what sold there in the last 60 days. How fast are things moving? What price point? How far above list price are they? 2 or 3%? I mean, that's how you can get
$100,000.
I'll bring comps because I'm there to represent the buyer, right? Here's what
Yeah.
sold in the neighborhood recently. This is where this is priced at compared to those. Comps are your best friend, because it's data. It helps you set the expectation. It's not you pulling it out of your butt, you know. But as far as the neighborhood, you know, understand what the HOA involves as far as amenities and know where they are in the neighborhood. There's a pool in the neighborhood. Make sure you drive by the pool before you go to the house. So if they say, hey, where's the pool? You're not like, well, it's in the neighborhood. You know, you want to be able to say, well, you take a right out of the driveway and then you go down and take a left and it's right there, whatever. Or it was on the left when you came in the neighborhood, things like that. It's good to know, you know, the MLS sheet is going to tell you what schools are nearby. Of course, we can't talk about schools and ratings or anything like that, but we can say what they're assigned to, of course, so you can point that out.
Highly desirable.
Yeah. You can say, you know, hey, the Publix is right down the street, or the new Harris Teeter or whatever just opened up, blah, blah, blah. There's a dog park or, you know, whatever, anything like that. Just have a good general understanding of why this is an attractive area. The big thing is just get them talking, right? Now, are some people going to come in and be completely cold and like do a loop and then walk out? Sure, that's fine. What you want to do is make sure you maximize the opportunity to engage with people who want to be engaged with. You can't force anybody into anything, but show them, hey, I'm here to help. I don't represent the seller. The seller's represented by somebody else on my team. I'm here to help any unrepresented buyers. Are you working with an agent? How'd you find this house? How long have you been looking? Where do you live now? What is it you're looking for? You know, LP mammal them in a very nice conversational way. Well, come on over here. Let's build a search. Let's see what else is out there.
Have a cookie.
Yeah, have a cookie. Anything else?
I feel like the markets are just so completely different here and in Raleigh. As far as like, I feel like sometimes it's a crapshoot. You either get like 2 people that come through or nobody, or I don't know, how are the open houses in Raleigh? I mean, do you guys get a ton of traffic through there?
It's the same thing for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while, you obviously it's worse right now because the
Right.
market's now. But when I was at Rachel Kendall team, I quit doing open houses because I got tired of not having people there.
Mm.
And I don't advise people to do that. But now I would certainly do them because there's more people coming to more open houses. Also, in a year and a half at Rachel Kendall, I had 3 closings from buyers that I met at open houses. And so I didn't think I had a really good conversion rate. So I didn't really keep doing
I
it.
know, I'd be happy with that.
I thought I was better on the phone. So, but I'm better. I would be better now than I was then. So it kind of just depends.
It's all also going to be property specific too,
True.
location and things like that, days on market, all of that.
Weather, yeah.
So, yeah, and then you definitely have weather, which can throw the best open house into the shitter if if it's just not a nice day. Well, it's 10 till, so we need to wrap up pretty soon because I've got to get to this builder meeting. Any last thoughts or comments, questions?
I think open houses are a good idea. I think that, I mean, hell, Stephanie brought my buyer for Ponzer and I brought Tiffany's buyer for Riverlight. So, I mean, they're definitely worth doing.
Someone should do open house in our neighborhood this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I love open houses.
It'll be under contract. You won't have time for it.
Especially my first year in real estate, I did them all the time, almost
Yeah.
weekly.
Yeah.
It's a great way to build your pipeline when you're first getting in the business, but it's still a completely viable option just because, you start producing. There's no reason to give up on them. I think you should just be strategic about it and, don't go there to stand in the corner. You've got to be engaging with folks. You got to be welcoming and you've got to show them value. And, if you get them for that house, then you get to do a duel, which is fantastic because, you got a competent agent on the other side, right? Which is a huge benefit. If they're not interested in that house, help them find another one, go above and beyond and show them, hey, I'm ready to give you more options right now.
And I found that most people who go into open houses also need to sell their current house.
That's a good point too. And so, get a twofer, heck yeah. People who are out at opens are usually hotter leads, okay, because they're taking the time to get off the couch and go out and see things, right? So they're great to engage with. They're usually more dedicated and thoughtful about moving forward and making a decision. Of course, that means that the chances of them working with somebody is also higher. But here's the thing: we always close for an appointment. You're welcoming appointments because basically that gives you the opportunity to have a mini consult right there and engage with folks. And we're always better face to face. So for that reason, I love open houses. All right. Thank you guys for jumping on. I'll let you go. I hope you have a good day. Nate, I'm going to have to catch up with you later. I don't know if I'll be done with this builder call by 10:30. So I'll let you know.
I feel like that's the mantra these days: builder meetings, builder meetings, builder meetings.
Yep. Let's go talk to the builder. Have a great day. Thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate it.
Bye. Bye. Oh my God.